Okay, this significant clip is to do with substance and structure. You know, in the book of Acts we have some incredible revelation. In chapters 1 and 2 we have the preparation and the outpouring of God's Spirit, and then in chapter 3 we have the power released because of prayer. Peter and John went up to the temple at the hour of prayer, and that's where they raised the man who was lame from his mother's womb. At the gate beautiful, he raised up and went walking into the temple with them, leaping and praising God. And then in chapter 4 there was persecution that followed that miracle. And then in chapter 5 there was a purification that took place when Ananias and Sapphira tried to pull a fast one on the Holy Spirit, and they came off second best, so to speak. But here we see the patterns once again in the fields and the borders. It's the decently and in order stuff. And so in chapter 6 of the book of Acts we have the pattern outlined for us of the church, because there was substance. They had the power of God practiced in their lives, and yet when they got to chapter 6 there was a desperate need for the ministry of helps to be introduced to bring about some of the structure to the church. They were starting to experience some difficulties as a consequence of this outpouring, and people's needs were not being met because there wasn't decent structure in the church. So my point here is that there needs to be substance and structure, like there is in this field ahead in front of us. There's a lot of substance. The barley fields are just ripe unto harvest almost. They're just really growing up here, but there needs to be some kind of structure to it, otherwise that harvest is going to be lost. So too in the church we had the apostles and the prophets focusing their attention on the word and in prayer, that you see in chapter 6, and then the deacons were instituted in the church to bring about some of the structural elements to the church so that the revival could continue. So it's very important in your life to have both substance and structure in your prayer, substance and structure in the word, substance and structure in the outpouring and the move of the Spirit in the church as a whole. And that was my point for today.